Prince Adeniyi Adeyemi has been finally been arrested. They don't arrest the man, but you see, the arrest is not just the end of this story, but in fact the beginning and more revelation because more voices are calling for transparency and also even for the arrest of Femi Gbajabiamila and every other individual involved in this case. On these episodes, I have a lot to review. I have a lot to unpack it because I have a lot lined up. In order for you to understand, there is more to this. Remember, you see, in Nigerians, what pains me so much is that we don't what discuss extensively, even our media, in order to bring to an understanding of Nigeria what is currently we're playing at, especially this government cover up. I discussed what is happening in Oyo about the O'Reilly kidnapping, and now this Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council. You see the way they are trying to throw all the stones on Prince Adeniyi Adeyemi, trying for the man to take all the blame, and the man refused to take the whole blame because there is more to this. And on this episode, I'm going to unpack a lot. Please just watch this video to the ending, and you will learn so much about this presidential foreign intervention promotion can. There is a lot that you need to things that you never know before, things coming from other analysts. Let's go now. But remember, like I always say, if this is your first time coming across my video, please and please subscribe. And also, more importantly, like the video. Don't just watch it, like and drop your comment of what you think. Now you can see this man has been arrested, but there's something more that's going on. Senate has refused to get involved in this investigation, something of this magnitude. And that is not enough. They arrested the man and you see the kind of humiliation he was going through in the police station. And more importantly, voices that are trying to speak up to call for accountability, they are shutting every one of them up. On this episode, I'm going to take it step by step, and I'll be showing you what video evidence, articles to help support the analysis and the conclusion, and also to help answer some of the questions ringing in your mind as a result of this. Now, listen.
The Senate today, for the second time, rejected a motion seeking an independent legislative investigation into the controversies surrounding the presidency and the alleged Director General of the Presidential Economic Advisory Council, the Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, the PFIPC, Mr. Adeniyi Adeyemi. The controversial matter, which has dominated public discourse for more than 2 weeks, was again brought before the upper chamber today by Senator Suleiman Kawu. He made a similar request last week without success in seeking to raise the matter under matters of urgent public importance. Take a listen to how he went.
Then today they came under Order 41, 40 and 51 to discuss the issue of urgent need to investigate the establishment, budgetary allocation, operations, legal status, and controversy surrounding the purported Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council to safeguard the integrity of the Senate, the appropriation process, and the federal government.
In my view, the issue is overtaken by events. Number one is that the culprits have been charged to court, and so it becomes sub judice. And number two, the president has set up a high-powered committee to investigate the subject matter from the formation of the fake agency all the way to budgetary provision and offices and opening of accounts and all that.
Now, this is something that Nigerians need to understand because there is something, the person will say, yes, what you said is true. Investigation is already ongoing, so there's no need of a Senate doing something about it. But that is not it. This is an scandal that have to do with not just the federal government.
So that is also being done.
Not just about the federal government itself, not about the Senate, because now, let's put it this way. Budget or appropriation. We have a Senate committee that is in charge of what? Budget appropriation. They have budget office. They have the chief of staff, AGF, NSC. So many offices are connected. even to the Senate. That is why even Senate itself need to run their own what investigation. They need to investigate the budget committee and other committees that are related to what budget appropriation. That is why Senate need to get involved. Because somebody might say, yes, why will Senate, go do their own investigation where ICPC is run their own investigation? No, they need to do their own internal investigation to know where things got wrong. That is to tell you, because you can see Gospel Akpabio trying to shift the blame, shift everything to the idea that yes, that investigation is already ongoing from president, so on and so forth. There's no need of trying to go further. But that is a lie from the pit of hell. So you as a Nigerian need to understand that. Do not nobody have to twist your brain anymore. Not as long as you are watching, as in you follow this platform. They can't twist those stories because I'll keep on compiling the articles and bringing it to your presence for you to understand. So they need to run their own investigation. Then ICPC and what EFCC and agents need to run their own investigation because this man has come to say boldly that whatever they are alleging that is committed, it is not true. That in fact he got the appointment legitimately. He did the thing with normal way that they do for Nigeria, payment for what for appointment. Look at him.
Yes. I'm wondering how you got the kind of money you worked within 2015, the kind of resources that you had. And I'm also bothered about the allegations against you when you claim that you got an appointment from the United Nations. Doesn't this raise suspicion about your own personality?
Mr. Shew, I borrowed this money. In fact, those that I borrowed this 100 million naira from, as reported to EFCC, I borrowed this money to pay for this appointment. In fact, those I can tell you, they will also written to EFCC asking me to refund their money. So I'm not even here to pay the money back. I borrowed this money.
What about the allegation that you were saying that, and it was all over social media, that you announced yourself as getting an appointment from the United Nations?
It's not sponsored. It's the campaign of...
So now you can see the man boldly coming out to tell you. That is to tell you that there's, you see, what government they are trying to call them as fictitious, con master, this and that this case is beyond that. Now you can see Gospel Akpabio telling you that the corporate people involved, they are all in police custody, but that is not true. There are so many people involved, both from Senate, both from the offices that approve, the office that approved that where the man, those people that approve the letter of appointment, so on and so forth. There's a lot of people involved connected to this case, which means they are not in custody. Why? The question is that why is Senate? Why are they? Why do they? Why they don't want to do anything about this? Why is everybody trying to pinpoint this man and trying to lay the whole blame on Prince Adeniyi? Those questions on this episode, want to answer them. First of all, look at what this man have to say. Look at his statement relating to this case. This is what I have to say because so many individuals have interest on this case. This is what I surely have to say. You can see it on my screen. He said, okay, can you see Showele say, why is Baja not under arrest? Remember, Senate President is trying to let you understand that everyone involved are under arrest. But here is what Omoyele Showele asking questions for you to understand that everyone involved, they are not what? Under arrest. Why is Femi not under arrest? Can you see the question? That the reason that Gospel Akpabio is giving is all trash. Showele condemns cover up of alleged 400 million bribery scandal involving chief of staff. Now you can see it. Now you can see another reason because you see when the man, like I said, the man has been arrested, but the kind of treatment they are giving the man is uncalled for. Look at him. He said the arrest and reported dehumanization of Prince Adeniyi, the alleged Director General of fake agency, point to what appeared to be an official cover rather than genuine search for truth. By now, President Tinubu chief of staff at Femi Gbagyebiyan should be under arrest and investigation if the authorities are truly committed to uncovering the fact. So far, the individual alleged to have collected 400 million bribe at Femi Gbagyebiyan on behalf as well died. Now you can see what is playing at. Both the hotel where some of the meetings took place, they don't demolish the hotel. The individuals involved in this case that collected the money on behalf, according to this man, on behalf of Fame Boy, those individuals, they don't buy. So now you understand there's more to this case than you have been hearing. There is more. You see, look at the Senate. Them rejecting what the motion. You can see this headline here. Can you see it on my screen? Look at it. PFIPC scandal. Senate reject motion to investigate controversial 1 point something billion, 1.3 billion allocation. The Senate on Wednesday declined to launch a comprehensive investigation into the budgetary allocation operation and growing controversy surrounding the purported foreign Presidential Foreign Intervention Council. Why is the Senate running away? That's to tell you there's more to this. This is not just ordinary crime, Nigerians. And I need to know that this is far bigger. This is the individual they are telling you about. Can you see him on my screen? This person has been meeting with foreign dignitaries, government officials. You can see it right now. And they are telling you that this office is a con master, is a fictitious, is fake. Nigerians, we are not dumb. This is foreigners that you see them, they are meeting. And somebody will come out tomorrow and tell you that this man is a con master, they will be exposed, the law will take its course. Really? Does any of this thing look like scam? Does any of this game look like where did they hide? This is far point. Even people in budget office, Senate budget committee, the LGF, another way to shut up. And so many people are telling you that things like this have been working, have been taking place in the Nigerian government for a very, very long time. That this is not, in fact, that this is a little compared to other actions, other criminal activities happening in the federal government. That is the confirmation. That's what people are saying. Here is another one. Listen.
The presidency, public confidence is absolutely necessary because however thoroughly you do the job of the investigation, if the public is not convinced and they believe that the agency that did it was somehow under some influence, then honestly, the political and the ethical and the legal purpose is not served. You see, ideally, if things were working well, the National Assembly can handle this matter. It can conduct a public inquiry, which is actually better than the ICPC secret investigation. Why not call all these officials? You who gave the waiver, you come and testify publicly before
on camera.
On camera with television showing.
Yep.
How did you give the waiver? Did you ask because there is a presidential ban? Did you call State House and allocated this office? All these people should testify before, but unfortunately right now, the National Assembly does not have the credibility to do that. In fact, they pointedly said that they will not do the investigation because the presidency has asked ICPC to handle.
So now you can see, seeing all these things, do you still believe today that this man is working alone? That is a con master, that is fictitious? Do you still believe that? Let's play more and see.
They want to be part of the program.
But this
this
controversy. What reforms do you think should emerge to prevent similar things from happening in future?
No, it will seem that this sort of thing has been happening for long. I was told that even in previous administrations, this sort of thing was happening. But it's no license for the Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration to allow this to happen.
Okay.
And it is clear that if we do not make an example of people who have aided and abetted this kind of aberration, it will not stop. This is a complete aberration. How can you have an agency that is not known to the law? It is not. It was not created.
Now you can see this revelation from TVC that it has been happening before, not now. Remember this story that broke out about that should be from IMF, a revelation from IMF that said that there's all budget spending. This one itself is even budget. This one is even inside the national budget. Talked about all budget spending in this country. People think saying all those things again. And it has been happening for years. This one, they even have the mind, the effrontery to even inject it inside national budget. Imagine the ones playing outside. So in case if you have been watching somebody trying to brainwash you, because I saw that there's a video of a very dark man that I called him out earlier, trying to tell you that Femi Bajabi. Yes, I'm not saying that it's what is guilty of any of those crimes, but they need to allow the law to take its course. The actions of the government is pointing to you. There's more to this than the eye can see. That's just the simple fact. This is what the presidential candidate for SDP have to say about this case. He said Femi Bajabiamiala bribery scandal. Tinubu knows his staff serves appointment, serves SDP presidential candidate. Look at the man. Hear from him directly.
I've taken up the role of the audience in Shakespearean tragicomedy. So the Nigerian media knows the truth, but they see the government as a content.
Adewole Adebayo.
They see crime and criminality as content. So they keep allowing the story to go. It's obvious that President Tinubu knows very well and doesn't mind that people pay money to his principal staff to get appointments and to get access. So it's a dead government.
So you know where all these things is going. Why I'm making all this revelation is for you to know that this kind of thing is one of the reasons why our government is not been functioning. That so many people know about these things, not just under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. Now, this kind of thing have been happening for years in Nigeria. Because we see the statements coming out from so many of these top people in Nigeria, you see that they are not shocked because they all know that things like this has been happening. But it's so unfortunate that this one, blew up. You even ask why be say yes, now this one, Femi, all those are government that don't report because they don't say it already cast. So they needed somebody to take the fall. But Prince Adeniyi no great take the fall now. Now he come make all this matter worse. They are not trying to tell you that so many people, even Senate, they don't want even take over this case because they know how rubbish it be. They know say most of them went.
And that is my amendment. That one agencies responsible for implementation of budget should be the people to be invited here. Mr. Speaker.
You can see what this Honorable Yusuf Adamogad is saying. That the agency that is responsible for implementation of budget, that budget committee and other agencies, not just budget committee in the House and the Senate, right, the full National Assembly, and also other agencies involved in this, they need to be summoned. That is why even a budget, this Senate and the House of Rep need to be involved because they are the ones. They are the ones that have to make sure that these things are transparent, like the way Nigerians are clamoring for. But when the investigation is done by ICPC or EFCC and police, some of this matter can be swept under the carpet. Now you are beginning to understand there is more to this case than some of the articles they have been giving you for you to see. Imagine what is happening in the House of Assembly. The way they are trying to look at the senator. This is when he was complaining. He said he's not afraid. Let's hear him.
Mr. President can constitute or can create an agency without the approval of the National Assembly. Constitutionally, he is empowered to do so. Therefore, I am not more concerned about that one. What we are concerned is who legalized the inclusion or who facilitated the inclusion of that agency in national budget, which is our constitutional responsibility.
You can notice that these questions are the questions where we say nobody. Answers are not coming out from anywhere. We are not getting the answers that each of these individuals, these are the few senators that have the mind to speak. The answers that Nigerians are calling for is not coming out. And let me tell you what will happen. You see the way it's going. This man, Prince Adeniyi, this man might spend the rest of his life in prison. Or he might not even survive this. Or this man might even die before even this case. The full investigation will be conducted. If the hotel can be demolished, The other people that took part in collecting money, whatever, they have all gone, which means once Prince Adeniyi is gone, that is it. Imagine an individual that is organizing this kind of forum, openly, meetings with foreign dignitaries. You are telling us that is this scam in this country? This case is going the way every other case goes in Nigeria, and that is so unfortunate. This is a country whereby in Nigeria they will be telling you that what you are seeing, when you be seeing white, they are telling that is black. You will continue to say you are seeing white. Somebody will come out and tell you that you are seeing black, that you are not seeing white. That is the country we are into. But look, the young generations, because somebody might say, as somebody as young as you, what do you know now? Why is Nigerian youth need to be paying attention to all these things and be discussing about this and try to create more awareness? Because that's why you should jump like this time of my platform. It is so important for Nigerian youth to begin to understand all these things, compile articles like it, this, discuss extensively about it. For us, we Nigerians, they only care about themselves. And also this thing, for the fact that you see that people are running away from taking part of this is to show you that most of them have been doing some of their offices are engaging in all of this illicit and what, criminal acts. If you push so much about my own, I'll push out about your own. So when you see Senate House of Rep members, nobody wants to take part. They understood what is played. It is not because political. It's not political. It's never because it's the APC. No. It's because so many of these individuals in the Senate House of Rep and some of those offices, they have been engaging on this illicit activity from one way or the other. When you try to expose Femi Gbajabiamila, it will also expose you. Your agencies, there's one way or the other, you are running this illicit criminal acts. That is what is at play right now. You don't dare try to mess around. That is what it's saying. If you try to mess around, we'll mess you up. You heard that article from Mr. Rodolph. That one immediately gets to the chief of staff by everybody with the wrong man. Everybody's silent. Everybody's silent at once. There is more to this. And you see, both on that TVC or Channel TV analyst, you see that these things has been running even beyond Bola Tinubu's administration. That is to tell you how corrupt our leaders are. They are so corrupt beyond repair. And we Nigerian youth, there's a lot of people that run analysts, but what we do is, telling story, content creation. It's high time we begin to run extensive analysis this way, educating Nigerians for us to build a better future for ourselves, because our leaders, they can't get there, they can't take us there. And remember, very soon it will get to us. But because if the youths are not well informed, if you do not have extensive ideas of all those things, we can't build a better future for ourselves. Look, Nigerian youths, young men and women of Nigerians, we need to be aware, because this is where the education comes in. If we know how our leaders got it wrong in the past, that is the only way we can build a better future for ourselves. But if we are not well informed about the activities, how this government are functioning, even when we, the youth, get to these offices, we also will be worse than these leaders we are calling them. So it's a high time the Nigerian system of youth, especially young youth that are on the social media, running analysis, we change the way we run analysis and begin to run extensive analysis. They have to educate, expose all of these things, creating awareness for young people, because it's not everybody that have time to run this analysis. So please, and like I always say, if this is your first time coming across any of my platform, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share.